All right, we're back. Let me get the scene going. I think that's the fastest I ever ate a 7-layer burrito in my entire life. How's everybody? Good to see you guys. Some of you stuck around here. Excuse me, I'm choking up my burrito. Uh, Open up my log file. We had, as you recall, a couple errors here that we just gotta fix up. So we failed to open XML file shaders PS color shader XML. So it's under my maps. We'll fix those up. Oh, that's the wrong folder, is it? Nope, that's the right one. Maps, shaders. We need to find the PS color shader, which should be in here. And put that in the appropriate place. And we had one other. Maps, textures, Hofbergman, egg diffuse. So in my folder, maps, textures, we'll create a folder called Hofbergman right here, because that's where it's looking for it. And inside that, we need to find the egg diffuse file. A, B, C, D. I passed it. E, where's E? Egg diffuse DDS right there. Copy that over and put it into my map. And it should have those last two files that we need that we're throwing errors for setting that up. So we'll give it a try. See if our error log comes up empty this time. I am getting ready for the hunter later. We're going to start that show a little bit later. Here, let me get the right scene up there. We're going to start that show a little bit later than 8 o'clock, around 8:30. So we'll go a little long here, probably till about 7:30. Take a break, because I want to invite you guys, if you're around, to play the hunter. But I just filled my feeders at Hirschfelden at before 4:30, and it takes 4 hours for them to be activated. So we'll start up around 8:30 and go for a couple hours from there in the later show. And that way anybody, first 8, well, first 7 plus me, I'll give out the password once the game's set up later, can join me in a hunt on Hirschfelden with the 4 boar feeders are going to be filled up. If you have the hunter, feel free to join in. We'll get a few of you in if you want to do a little bit of hunting. So uh, let me go to what map folder am I on? I can't remember. Did I save the game last time or not? We want to be running PV16x. Yes, okay. Don't want to overwrite anything here. That would be bad thing. So we'll jump in and check out the error log. I'm going to delete save game 3. Get a clean one here. Hopefully all our errors will be taken care of, and then we can continue hooking up this whole egg facility with everything and fire it up and see what happens. So we got a little while to go yet. Let's see, we got back here not quite a half hour early, but That'll make this segment about 3 hours long. We'll go to about 7:30. I'll take a break. 8:30 we'll come back and we'll do that hunting on Hirschfelden in the Hunter. Tomorrow we're going to do a Call of the Wild as well during the day, and then we'll finish up with the two map making shows in the evening like usual. So just mixing it up, you know. I literally do work on these maps when I'm home for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day sometimes, and you gotta wind down and play a little bit, you know, jump in and do some gaming. So we're gonna do that a little bit later. We'll bring up the error log. So far, the only one is that day-night sky thing, index triangle error. I just got to do a little bit of fix, but I think we're good. Loading up some animations. We've got much more to go on this, but I'm not going to run in here and test it because of all the driving we have to do. Oh, shut that down. We're not signing in to OneDrive here. Come on. I don't want to. Why is it not letting me close the window? Why is everything frozen up? Because the game's still loading. The English Adventurer. Thank you for the host there. All right, so we're not going to worry about I know about those errors, the tour icons. The icons aren't set up yet, and everything else looks good with that mod, so we're going to jump back into the map and see what other pieces have to be activated, what other fill types might need to be. Once we get it all done, I will save the game with a clean copy, go in, pre-fill some of the egg stuff in there so we can just test it all out and make sure it's working. So we have the output packing station output. All the packing stations should be done. I don't know if there's anything else. Let's see. Chicken stables. We've got gameplay in our chicken stables. Chicken breeding. So we need to take a look at each of the chicken breeding sections and get them activated as well. See what we have for new things that have to be set up. Save ID chicken breed 01. We have to, I wonder if I still have it on the, nope, I need to get the onCreate function and I can't quite remember what it was, so I'm going to grab it from the packing station. It's the mFactory script onCreate. It's what runs the script for each of these, and I removed them one at a time so we wouldn't get the errors. And now we're just going to activate each thing in sections, and here's what we need right here. This onCreate, mod onCreate, mCompany factory is what it is. Copy that. Hey Wiz3000, how you doing? And we'll fire up the chicken breeding stables this time and repeat the process. Check our inputs and outputs, make sure that we have them registered, and we'll get to fire up the map and fill it up and see what happens. So onCreate for each of these is gonna be mCompany factory. And check our inputs. They should be the same for all the chicken breeding stables, so if nothing changes on any of these, we'll be good to go. But I gotta see if there's any special little things that we need to know. This is where we customize it a little bit for Pleasant Valley. All right, we've got 4 inputs for chicken breeding. First one is field types chicken. Name is chicken in. All right. I don't know. I think we have to register that too. The field type of chicken, because I don't think it's a field type in this year. We'll find out. Second, and actually what I'm going to do is jump up to this first one and show you guys a little bit of something here. So we might as well take care of this now. I already skipped over a few, but it might make it easier. We have the name chicken in right here in the name field. If we open up our mod description file for the map, which is right here, you will see all these text entries for how things will appear in the map, and there are several. They go on forever because we have so many different field types and things in the map. I'm gonna just pick the top section here, and right at the bottom of it we're going to just copy meat pizza for now, paste it in, and this section here needs to match chicken underscore in. So CHICKEN underscore IN, and this section here is what's going to show in game. So we'll just type in chicken for that. That's what that refers to, the name file. It will look for that in my mod description and then put whatever I want on any displays that are in there. So adding that in now, we won't have to worry about having those. I know there's several for the gates that I have to go back in and do at some point. Wheels247, thank you for the host, my friend. So we got to go through. This here is straw bedding material. We don't have a bedding material in this map right now. So we're going to just go with straw. I may add down the road something else, but we're just going to make it so we can only dump straw in for this, and we can just rename this to straw 2 and it'll pull from our already predefined straw thing. We can mess with that if we decide to put in some other bedding materials down the road, but for now we're going to keep some of these things simplified. Every time you add something new, it gets a little bit more interesting. All right, so we got wheat, barley, maize, the grains. It's just going to be chicken breed grains. So we're going to come over to our file here and add that text line in here as well. Let me copy this one and make a new entry and go back over here, make sure I have it spelled. I always copy because that way text errors, miscaps, like I kind of missed the C though when I copied. Make sure it's a lowercase c. Yes, it is. And those types of things don't appear, and then we'll just call it in-game grain works for this. So that is done there. We'll save this too. I'll probably forget that later. And we'll go with the wheat, barley, maize, chicken feed, I'm gonna take out for now. We might put it back in once I see about chicken feed, but we can add in like oat and rye as well because they're already in our map. So we'll leave it with that. We could add in millet if we wanted to. We'll make all these adjustments later on as the map gets running. But right now it's getting stuff hooked up, and this one is water, so that's pretty simple. We have all our outputs. A building we're working on is in the back, this first one, and our output, we output 2 products. And actually there's chicken breed water. I don't know why we have to put name chicken breed water. We could just change it to... All right, so output 1 is our laid egg. We have chicken breed eggs for the name. Again, we can add that in over here. We may change the text too once I see where it appears and how it appears in the game. But for now, we'll just put it in chicken breed eggs, lowercase. And laid egg is already registered fill type, so we should be good there. Output number 2 is manure, and it's registered under chicken breed manure, which I'm not 100% sure why you need to do that if manure is already an entry, but we'll do it anyway. We'll see if there's any reason to have it separate from the other manure in the game, because it's just the naming, and if manure, I'm sure, is in the list somewhere. That we could reference, but we'll add it in, and basically that is just stable 1. He's got several stables. We got to repeat the process. I'm gonna get the factory script copied settings so I don't have to type that in every time. Right here, the onCreate function. Go down to chicken stable 2 and see if we have more. Let's see, gameplay, chicken breed 1. We should have it similar setup on chicken stable 2 right here. Gameplay, and down at the bottom, again, we'll just check our inputs and outputs and make them so they're gonna match. Oh yeah, we gotta put the script and activate it again, so we'll do that as well. Doc, thank you for the host. How you doing, Doc? So we're working on getting the chicken stable up and running during this episode, and we'll see where we go after that, but I want to get this going. Maybe there's so much to do on these farms that we'll figure it out once we get it in there. We want to mess with the geese maybe. We'll see how easy this goes. Let's get my onCreate function put in, and then mess with our fill types so that they are proper. And I don't remember, yeah, there should be just a couple changes here. We don't have to go back and do the name portion again. That's already done. But so chicken, we may have to register chicken. I got that written down. So chicken in and register chicken. We'll do it and we'll see what happens. Well, when we run, we'll know. We're moving out the bedding material and changing this just to straw. See how that works out for us. And move down the list. Wheat, barley, maize are the fill types we're adding in. We're taking out chicken feed for now. Adding in oat and rye. We may bring chicken feed back. I haven't even looked to see what makes the chicken feed yet. But just until then, we're going to eliminate it. So we don't have to have the error and chicken breed what. That's good. Chicken stable 3. One more time. And put in our on create M company factory. And go through our fill types. Hey LJ, how you doing this evening? Hope all is well. We're doing some of the fine details of setting up extra objects that work in the map right now with the chicken stables. And we're going to fire this up pretty soon and see what it looks like. I think we have to do a little bit of spline work. I think that the splines in here were added. So we'll check that out in a minute. Once I have them up and running, we'll see. I don't think there's actually chickens. He might have them up here above ground. But I'm pretty sure I have some splines for this stuff too. Couple more grain types of oat and rye. Taking out chicken feed for now. I'm doing pretty good. You're just getting out of bed. I've been here practically since I got out of bed, but took a couple breaks in between. Started off with a farming show and our water. We're good there. I think that is good. I don't know where this other chicken farm thing is, but I don't think it actually is needed. This might be the buy trigger that he had set up that I have to mess with. But let's see where it highlights and... Oh, back there. See what it is. It's that section with feeding troughs and stuff, and it might be an additional chicken farm we could fire up. I think that's what it is. I'm going to leave that one for now. I don't know if we'll even need it with everything else, so I'm going to leave it unconnected and save this where we are. And jump in and see if what errors we have going. Usually there's always something that throws off another error once you get these scripts going, so maybe, maybe not, but that's how we work it out. We get it, we run it, we look at the log, see if it's calling on anything else for this whole big facility that we're putting in, and then if it is, we'll fix it. But this should be the last piece for this section, all fired up and ready to go. Then we can, although we might need to put some chickens walking around on the ground, which would be kind of cool looking. You've been touring Italy and Euro Truck, huh? People going back to Euro Truck or people playing American Truck still? I know a lot of people still play in the Euro Truck. A lot more, I think, to do in that one. I haven't played any of those. We're going to have to do that in Simulator Game of the Week sometime soon. Which is a new show on Fridays. Tomorrow, we'll be doing the Hunter Call of the Wild. And we'll see if we can... We'll see after tonight's show when we invite people in and see how it goes. We'll kind of do it half-assed, for lack of a better term, tonight. I don't have the Discord and stuff set up. I've been just going crazy, but we'll give you guys a chance to come in and hunt if you can type in the password faster than everybody else. All right, we're saved there, and that is saved up. And I probably got 30 folders open. You see how I work? Look at that. We've got field types and just a bunch of folders I don't necessarily need open. Let's see what happens this time with errors. So they're still making add-ons for Euro Truck, but not getting any new areas in American Truck. Is that what it is? They added, released Italy. Let's bring up the error log and click through. And see what new things we've got messing with this time around. If any. Oh, wait, American Truck released New Mexico? Cool. I'll have to jump on there and do that. Maybe we'll do that one next week. I haven't driven in a long time on those games, but I've got them all, both of them. Check out New Mexico. So far, so good. No errors popping up, but if they're going to come, they're going to pop up there pretty soon. Or we're just going to freeze up and sit here. It should be still working. There we go. A little more. Unifactories. Good. More Unifactory stuff. It scrolls by. A lot of fabric script. M company cannot find additional triggers script. All right. That's a interesting thing. I guess I got to fire up the animal trigger. Can't find additional triggers. I had that activated, and I thought that was what was giving me errors, but so I disabled it because it wasn't needed for the last mod. So yeah, let's jump in and reactivate the additional triggers script in our mod description file and then fire it up and see if we get any errors. So it should be, if I'm right, still in my list, just deactivated. Let's see, where are we? Factory add-on, additional triggers. I do have a scripts additional triggers script. Let me check that error. Additional animal triggers, can't find additional triggers script. Okay, I think we'll have to figure out exactly what that would be. My additional triggers, yeah, those are the ones that actually require me to think. Additionals, animal trigger, can't find additional script, and there's 3 of them, so it's being fired off by our 3 barns. And there's a HUD M Company Chicken Farm XML. Oh, here's the additionals. Let's see what it's looking for. I see. There's something additional to this additionals. And we'll click on our animal trigger. Yeah, well, I haven't messed with it. Yeah, that's what a header text title FSAT chicken breed text, chicken breed header and title. I have never messed with this M Company script, so I'm going to have to do some research, but it's obviously looking for some new animal type registering. Animal type is chicken. I haven't done it yet. This is the first time I'm trying to add an animal type, so let me see what we got over here, how he had it done. He has his not in there, the additional trigger scripts. We change animals data. He's got something going on in here. That's just changing the, yeah, scripting is not my thing, I'll tell you that much. Looks like we're gonna have to, that's the cow, just changing the animal cows. Bum, 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 bum. M Company Factory, M Company Factory. Yeah, I don't even see him have the additional trigger script in there. So let's do a search for it and see where he has it. Nothing. I think it might it might be conflicting with yeah, it's not coming up in there anywhere. Animal trigger cannot find additional trigger script. The animal trigger, huh? You say it's following in. I know where the animal trigger is. It's right here. It's got an animal type chicken. but it's not finding my additional trigger script, which is installed. So there's something with my additional trigger script, but his doesn't have, I can't even find an additional trigger scripts in his map. So I'm not sure. I'm going to have to, there's a register new animals. That might be right there. Let's see what we got. Young goose, goose, pony, and foal. Make chicken viable, but he has that all turned off. Well, I'll tell you what. Chicken animal can be bought equal. All right, so this is a register new animals script that makes the chickens viable. And it has some register new animal events. I think we're going to need to have that. Let's see if he has that script fired off in his map here. And we will figure it out. Map scripts, register field type, reg new animals. So we're going to register the new animals. Definitely need to have that probably for this. I'm just guessing, but makes sense. It's an educated guess. So let's go to my mod description and register our new animals. And put the reg new animal script into my folder right here. And see what happens. Works for me. One more time. I don't think that will get rid of that error, but at least it'll register chickens as a new animal type. Maybe it will. We'll find out. We're so close. I don't even know what's gonna work or not when we get in there. All right, let's fire up that and see if we get the same errors. My first attempt to add new animal types into FS17, so it might take a while to figure these things out, but we'll get there. It can be done. Sometimes it's just looking over a bunch of files and trying to figure out what is different. And sometimes we get lucky and it's like, oh my gosh, it went away. We did it right. We'll see. And sometimes we just crash the whole thing. Yeah, I can't find additional trigger script. I don't know what's calling that. It says additional additionals animal trigger. And I have an additional trigger script running. It's not pointing to it, but I don't know why. I'm going to save the game real quick here. And see if we can find it through the map editor. Yeah, that's the other way to do a search. We've got our log file. It's looking for additional triggers. I'm going to copy that. Oh, you know what? I didn't save the register new animals. I didn't save it. That's stupid. It might work after all, but I'm going to do one other check before we go through here. Bum. We're going to open up the map. In my Notepad++. And search for additional triggers and see it's not finding it in here, so it's got to be thrown from another script. All right. That being said, I'm gonna go to my save game 3 and I'm gonna see. I think that the only thing that's not gonna work is that trigger, and I can live with that. We'll figure it out. I'm going to preload some of these things and see if everything else is working anyway. So we should have, let me do a search for chicken. That should bring up just about everything. From the top, please. Or we'll search. So we've got fabric script pig mix, M Company quarry, cauliflower greenhouse, animals chicken, number of animals 24, animals pig. That's the old settings. Just got to find the index for these. It was save game 3, right? Cherry orchards. There we go. I'll just put some grain, some chicken. Well, I don't think we can have that many chickens themselves. Straw level. Chicken manure, chicken eggs. We'll put like 25 eggs in that one. And here's another barn. I don't know what the limits are set to. I didn't really check, so we're just going to add a few in. If we see numbers, we know we're good. And our third one. And let's see. There's so many things registered in this thing. You can get lost. Incubator house. That's the greenhouse. All right, that's just lights and stuff on the incubator house. Well, let's go with those chicken things fired up and see if we got any chickens in there. And we might need to add some more stuff later, but let me do a search on the incubator. We might be able to find some. Well, I can't spell incubator. That's the problem I'm having. That's just a direction. There we go. Laid egg input level 10. We'll try that for this one. We'll fire it up. We'll just put one in there. Let's go and see if I got anything in my game this time. Yeah, I got that saved. Don't forget to save. That might have been why it still couldn't find it. I didn't save, so it wasn't running that animal script, but we'll find out. My guess is I got to do something with that whole trigger system, but maybe, maybe not. One of the scripts is calling it. Error, can't find map scripts, reg new animals, Lua. Can't load resource. Map scripts, reg new animals, Lua. Did I not put it in the right spot? Apparently. Da 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 da. Maps, scripts. Oh, you know what I did? I have two script folders. One is in map scripts, and the other one is in scripts, and it's kind of looking for it over in the maps scripts folder with all these other wonderful ones. There. It'll find it this time. Let's load up one more time. Now it's got can't find the chicken sound. This is what happens. You get something to work and then more things pop up. It's going to be looking for my sounds for my chickens and everything if we don't get... But let's load it up with it in the actual right place. Working on the map one barn at a time. Field type chick registered. Probably going to pull it out of the bulk category eventually, because otherwise you can load your chickens in a tipper. Figure out how it's done. Yeah, additional animal trigger can't find additional trigger script. I don't know what that means. But it's not finding. We'll work on it. Everything else is good. It's just that silly thing over there. So, oh, there was a last. All right. You notice the rest of them here. I've got some textures that I need to fix, and chicken wave files. They just loaded in. So just got to move those into the right places. But that trigger's still not going to work. I'm going to jump over there anyway, and because we filled them up a little bit, and see if anything's working yet. Give me some hope. I need some hope. Old man farmer, how you doing? Good to see you. We're messing with the fun stuff. Getting scripts activated in the map. Working on a little bit of the chicken today. And I'm already getting tired of trying to figure it out. It's not a very fun thing to do on a broadcast, you know? I'd like to make progress. This is the things that hold you up. Apparently I've got to find a script, additional trigger script where it's firing off, and that requires me to look through several files. I was hoping to get a quick, easy fix. But it doesn't always work that way. Oh, look at that. Check that out. You know, I got to set up my auto host list so when I go offline, I'm hosting some of you guys. I will do that. I just noticed they got a box down here on my thing to add people that host me to my auto host list. I will do that at some point because I really appreciate everybody that's been hosting me over, helping build up this show as we're building up this big map and figuring out all these little details. But I think it's time to start making some green fields over in the southwest over here. If we don't get this done today, I'll be working on it. I can always let you guys know what we had to do, but some things just don't make for very good show content, you know? And this is one of them, trying to figure out these script errors. Especially when you do it for 3 hours and you still got nowhere. But we've got so much to do over here that we can put things in their place and continue on. So they have something working, so chickens are accepted on a trigger, and I haven't figured it out yet. But I know where the chicken farm is going. All right, a good Scaff Guard TV has a question for me. I hope you can answer me. I have a map where I want to make the farm bigger, so I have used that thing in game to remove a field and make it to gravel. But how do I remove the field number? All right, we'll show you that in just a minute, but it could be tricky. We'll give you a little demo when we get back in the editor here on... Oh, look at that. Look at what we got here anyway. Little chickens. That's exciting. We just have a trigger that doesn't work, but at least we've got our chickens in our field there. I gotta still put in the index, and we've got some chickens in here. Yeah. And we have laid eggs. So apparently we could take our laid eggs, ooh, isn't this exciting, people, and throw them. It's only a few laid eggs in there, but we'll get an idea. We'll get it fired up. I'm guessing we bring laid eggs to the packing station and gotta drop it to open the door. Oh, come on. Now I'm clicking on the door instead of the... Okay. Yo, squeeze, let me in. Uh, what do we do with this? Oh, look at that. Now it looks full, but, all right, so it's gonna work. We got nine eggs. But we have to get the triggers working. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I know that we can get that fired up, and we can check one of the other barns and see what kind of laid eggs we have. Open door. We've got a few of them. I know I put more eggs in some barns than others. Yeah, it's just the scripts that need to be fixed for that trigger. And I will figure it out, but after the show, we'll discuss what was giving me that later. So I've got 11. Level is 11. We can carry our eggs around. Oh, this is going to be fun. You guys are going to love this. Tossing your eggs. Don't break your eggs. Oh my gosh. This could be tough because I feel like I just broke them. They're not even full pallets yet, but I think I broke my eggs. There, because they're partials, they're still going into the first carton. I don't even know if I have enough to get this working, but we've got another barn empty. An auto load egg trailer. You know, let's get what we have working before we try to create new stuff, is my theory. Uh, we've got to get more eggs. This one has 13 eggs in it. I don't know what the capacity is. I wonder if I could jump the fence with the eggs in my... Well, I toss... I don't do that at home. Your eggs will be kind of cracked, but I toss the eggs over the fence. I did notice one other thing. Maybe you guys caught it. Maybe you didn't. Uh, but come on, pick up my eggs. Get these on the conveyor. There was the path to that door is in dirt, which I like to have the dirt path going up. So I gotta draw that in after too. And we put different quantities of, they're scrambled eggs, yep. Different quantities of, yeah, chickens in each of the farms. So one of them's loaded up over there. The others are a little weak. Oh, we don't want to go in there. Sorry. Didn't mean to disturb you, chickens. We want to come down here. Um, boy, messy eggs. So we've got 34 eggs. You see that? Erkenstein or whatever. Let's see what else is over here. There should be a digital... We might be out of something. We have 0 paper cartons because we didn't load paper in. I might have to... Oh, we never loaded the carton factory. That's what it was. We just did the stables. We preloaded the stables, which look like they're pretty good. We got chickens in the field on all 3 of them. And we'll get some grass planted out here. Lots of chickens hanging out. Water. Gates. Don't let your chickens loose. I think it'll be pretty awesome. So yeah, we'll get it working, finish it up, and revisit it. But at least we can move on to, oh yeah, incubators. Incubators should have one incubator that has some stuff in it. Aw, look. It's some, whoops. That's going to be tricky with the door. Trying not to click on the door and picking up the, come on. Well, I got it. You bring the chickies over to the building. And the trigger's not going to work, but we got chickies. Oh, I just killed them. So, chickies, are you going to go into the animal trigger? I don't know. What do we do with these? Anybody? Eh, there, go with mom and daddy. I think there's a trigger that's supposed to work. They're not going to go over there. That's where we get our eggs. So, chicks gotta go somewhere. And, it's probably that trigger that is not functioning that would be right around here somewhere near the gate. Yeah, it should be right there where that little thing is. So we got to get that trigger working so my chicks are taken care of. Um, where do eggs come from? Well, that's a silly. Oh yeah, we got the eggs. That's right. Eggs appear on the pallets. Pallets go in to make the cartons. So we just need to fire up the paper in that thing later for our future test and work on that trigger issue. But it's pretty cool. All right. I'll even save that game where it is for some reason. I probably won't use it again. But, well, let's go into the, yeah, let's go into the save game and fire up that, because once I do more landscaping work, I got to start a new save game and preload everything. And so we might as well check our fabric carton machine out and package up some eggs and see if the pallets are working before we go too far. So we'll jump in to, no, so far I just need to figure out that silly animal trigger thing, which will come. Oh, documents, my games, farming simulator, save game 3. And I do know one thing. We changed the fill type to paper. So if I search for paper, oh, let's go to the vehicle XML file and search for paper. M Company packing station, paper level. I don't know how much goes in this thing. Laid egg input, we'll put about 500 eggs in there too. And egg output level, let's put, just for kicks, I could check the values, but what fun would that be? Where is the packing station? Chicken, might as well check it out. Packing station. Let's check the level capacity so we know what we're messing with here. Inputs. $2,900 eggs. Okay, we can definitely bump up our eggs. Pallets, let's see, paper 1,600. So 2,900 eggs. put a full 2,900 eggs. Paper's only 1,600. See, I would have had it overfilled. And we'll adjust these when we all right, 12,000 water. When we figure out with our factories how we want it to work. But for now, I'm going to leave the numbers here. Egg output. Let's see how much goes on a pallet of eggs. Maybe we can get it pretty close to a full pallet. 4,200. Let's drop in 4180. So we only got 20 eggs to go before it finishes the pallet. We'll give it a try. Then we'll move on to painting some fields, or maybe we'll work on hooking up the geese. See, we'll probably have that animal trigger error until I figure it out on every animal I bring in, so we'll get it figured out. And of course, pre-filling them like this, we will need to eventually, later when we get the crew testing and the map is in a testable stage for driving around, that's when we'll find the actual trigger errors for trucks and what needs to be fixed. And I do some of that during this test, but yeah, just because I'm pre-filling the factories doesn't mean the input triggers are set correctly to like take paper from my box truck until I bring it over. I may have to change categories around and stuff like that, but this is just to make sure that the thing is going to work eventually before I get too far ahead of myself. Which came first? I'm pretty sure that the chicken came first. I'm just saying. All right, let's oh yeah, we're there already. Packing station test. Get there before our eggs roll off the assembly line. So look at that. Now we get to see some animations. We have eggs. Nice pallets that we piled up from our chicken thing going into our robot thingy mabobber. We've got our cart paper here ready to go. It's packing up a carton of eggs. So it's filling it up. It's at 120. It goes. Let's fast forward and see what happens here. Yep. There. That was fast forward. Oh yeah, we've got cartons of eggs. Super fast forward for a couple minutes. You could see our egg cartons. Interesting is how the closed box is over there and the opened one is over here. But hey, let's give them some credit. So I'm guessing that these can be now picked up and we can bring them out for a trailer to come by and pick up and bring to our bakery and places where we're going to store them later. I like it when you got to do some handwork though. That's kind of cool. So, I don't know. Those paper carton pallets look pretty cool. Maybe we will add cardboard to one of the factories at some point up there at Cogent. Or because we have two forests, maybe we'll make a Cogent number 2 or a different factory. So why is this one partially full and that one partially full? I have no idea. But yeah, That is going to be pretty good for the egg test. That I think we'll be able to work with that. We'll get it fixed up. Oh, I think I just crushed my eggs. I just crushed them in the door. It is tricky to grab the eggs without opening the door because they're on the same key, you know? But there. Eggs for everybody. All right. Can we put eggs into the incubator? I didn't even think. How else are you gonna get chicks? Or did we test that already? I don't think so. Come on. Get in there. I guess not. Oh, we'll have to figure out how to operate the incubators. But that's good for now. Otherwise, I'll be running around here forever. Let's jump back into our editor and see what else we can mess around with today. We're like half done with that. I'm good with that. I'll figure out some of the more difficult stuff and make it easy to explain next time. And we'll just continue on. So over to editor. Let's fire up some more stuff. I've got several little things to fix on that. But this door right here didn't have its dirt path put in, right? Texture layer, rough dirt. Yeah, we just want to... Oops. Must be on smooth. Must have been doing something else. Like building a mountain somewhere. Why is it not painting? Why am I losing my mind? Add terrain. Replace limits, that's right. Whenever I mess with those, I forget to take them off. It's not going to paint because it's not, I had it set for that mountain over there. All right. For now, we're going to leave that there. We do have this little, well, we can find a home for our little goose building. Let's check that out a little bit. Because geese husbandry, I'd like to add it in. Of course, it's going to be that whole animal trigger thing probably is again, but got to find a place close to home for this. I think there is a place right over here that would be perfect for it. And spin it around. One too many zeros. How do I want this situated? I'm thinking, well, we'll mess around with the setup of it a little bit later. Whoa, we won't mess that up. I'm gonna turn it this way because we've got a gate. That way we have the manure pickup right up here in the corner. make sure you guys can get around it to the orchard. Yeah, you should be fine because we have a gate to enter here. We've got the pickup right there. We'll work it out, and yeah, you just have to drive around if you want to walk in through there. So let's fire this thing. Let's see what we've got. With our geese husbandry, we are going to have to do the same thing. Reactivate the M company script, which is, I'll just copy from this one again. Going to put in the straw harvest. Straw harvest is compatible now. Yay. If you didn't know, we did the update today. Well, we did it yesterday and I messed up the links, so everybody patiently waited till today. But straw harvest ready. Version 3.3 of Pleasant Valley is out there. And put our onCreate script here. And we'll check our inputs and outputs for geese so we can see exactly what geese are going to produce for us. I kind of like this because the chicken farm would have been pretty boring over here if we didn't have some extra things to do. So it's now like a poultry type farm thingy. Inputs. There's 4 different inputs for the geese. Currently, maybe soon to be 3, but right now there's 4. You're welcome there, Mad Max. I'm glad you like it. We're going to really... Alright, so we got to add fill type goose, I believe. And its name is goose in underscore in has to be added to the factory. So let's go to the mod description. Where did we leave? Is this my map? No, it's not mine. That's why having too many mod description files open could be detrimental to your health. We need to make an entry for goose in. And then we got to add fill type goose. I'm going to do the same thing for now. I may have to mess with the fill types later because the animal script might actually register these as well, but I'm putting it just to be on the safe side. I know I can get a fill type that's goose. It's a bulk fill type and get that saved there. So goose where do we buy geese? That's a better question. If this is geese husbandry and it has a goose in, we must have more stuff. So fill types of straw bedding material is going to be out. We're going to go with straw for now. Just like the chickens. Capacity 12,000. Wheat, barley, maize, and geese feed. We may produce those later. I got to look more into it, but I'm going to give geese some millet instead. Wheat, barley, maize, millet works for me. And this is just really, there's so much work that has to be done on these. It's just to see if we can get them up and running, and I'll get into, and then the geese husbandry water. So I think that that should probably give us some geese. What is it output? What do our geese output? Golden eggs? Goose poop? No. Young goose. So we have to register young goose. YOUNG GOOSE. We're going to hit a fill type limit in this map someday. You know that, don't you? YOUNG capital goose. And so if it outputs young goose, how do you get the goose in and it outputs manure? Okay. I'm going to worry about all those indexes later. I'm just curious on our triggers, where we get our geese from. I didn't get that part. I got to figure out. Let's see. Geese husbandry. We've got additionals, and there's going to be an additional trigger, animal trigger, that we got to figure out how to get them working. Let's take a look at some of the settings for the trigger. Maybe it's in, yeah, FSAT, geese husbandry header, geese husbandry text, geese husbandry title. So I got to find out where the FSAT files are. We've got the goose stable and geese stable lights, milk tank, door trigger. Just expanding some of these out. Doors. Any other things? I think we need to buy geese somewhere. We'll figure that out too. But I'm going to just pre-fill the geese stable and then we'll get all the triggers working later. 3.3, if you follow the directions, only thing that could happen really with that update is resetting your gravel, sand, and silt piles, which we've discussed. I linked it. There's a topic in the forums. We did it live in the last show. So it should go pretty easy for you guys. It's not a necessary update, but it does let you use the straw harvest, and there was a sugarcane belt particle fix as well in there. I forgot to mention that. There was a little bit of particle fixing done on the sugarcane equipment. And you don't have to switch seeders. I mean, empty your seeder before you fill it, so a little bit new, you know? And it's Seasons mod compatible, and the Seasons mod is another whole story. Let's bring up our save game, throw in some geese, just like we did, see if everything's moving around, and we'll work out the triggers later, but at least I know I got some of the things set up. We got to do bees over here. That's pretty well done. It's just a matter of relocating and redesigning the bee area. Let's fire up this save game. See if any errors appear for our geese. We've got textures still in the log, I'm well aware of. I'll go through those offline, find all those missing pieces, and throw them in there. and we'll get it all working and figured out soon enough. All right. I'm gonna throw in what I'm doing right now is I'm clicking the add to auto host list for all these people that are hosting me, and that way I can return the favor. Show all 25. Are there really this many people hosting me, or are they just all you guys just watching? Muddy 4x4 Gaming, thank you much for the follow. All right, back on the farm, we have to save because we need the index for our geeseys, and then we'll fill that in. Chetty, yep, we got to put him. All these auto host names. That way, when I'm not here, we'll give some love to all these people. All right. Doc. Oh, yeah, Doc has to be on there for sure. Get in there, auto host list, Doc. Okay. Uh, into our save game file, we should now have Geese. Yeah, if you have a lot of mods, I got quite a few. It'll take a while. So, M Funkany, M Company Factory. Let's do a search for Goose. Maybe it'll find it. Go down through the file. There it is. With Goose level. Throw some Goose level. Goose husbandry grains. I don't know how much to put in these things, but we're just going to fudge the numbers. Young Goose out. Yeah, we'll better put a couple hundred of those. Get some geese out. Then we'll see what happens over there. Just to see if everything's working okay. And while that's working, Casket Man, yeah, you deserve it too today. At 60 miles, yeah. Oh, take longer than 3 hours? No, that's not normal. Uh, 3 hours to load with 60 mods. You've either got a really slow computer or something going wrong there, my friend, because 3 hours is way too long. This, I've got at least 60 mods in, and it doesn't take 3 minutes, you know? So something's going on there. Check your error log. It could be throwing some looping errors. You might have a conflict. Thanks for that, host Badzilla. With this map and 60 mods, about as long as you see here. Because that's roughly probably what I've got. About 60 mods. I've got, oh yeah, I got to get the Goose small and yeah, some more Goose DDS files. So those are missing. Yeah, There is definitely, I think, funny thing is, they're calling me for dinner. I ate dinner an hour ago. Hang on just a few minutes. I gotta see what they're having. I might grab some extra. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break in just a minute. Uh, let's jump over here and see if this is working. Nothing wrong with second dinners. What's up, dude? What are we having?
All those chicken things.
Chicken things. That's really descriptive. I like chicken things. What do you guys think? Chicken things sound good.
I'm gonna have those chicken things with
The stuffed chicken breasts?
yeah.
You mean the ones like with chicken cordon bleu and the
Yes.
buffalo chicken?
Yes.
Oh man,
Yes.
that sounds yummy. All right. I don't know if you could hear my nephew there, but I think I might just go grab another little bit of food. I just did this so we could see that we're going to have some cute little geese on our farm once we get it all going. Uh, One that's sunk in the ground. I thought he was dead for a minute there, but we'll fix up the points where the geese are. Second dinner it is, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Two dinners for the price of one. I don't mind that. I had to cook my own 7-layer burrito earlier. Actually, sadly enough, I went to Taco Bell the other day and didn't finish. So, button for the lights. That's pretty darn snazzy. But where's my baby geese? That's my question. Young goose, where are you? I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out when we come to it. But yeah, these types of things do take some work and figuring out, and somewhere young geese get picked up. I got work to do on this still yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. I like it. Our feed, our water. I just don't see where the young goose output, but I can check that in our indexes. And maybe it just goes back into yeah, if you've got some of those issues, you've got something. Check your error log if there's anything in there. It's hard to say. So, what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to quit this game here and I will fix all those errors in between the shows. You know, you've seen it earlier on. I just got to go and move files and relink. I'm not concerned about that. I'll do that offline when I don't have to bore the heck out of everybody. I'd rather bore you by putting up my AFK screen and going upstairs and getting one of those chicken dinner things. But before I do that, I wanted to do one quick check. Uh, we have a chicken output issue of young goose. I want to see just where that young goose is going. Uh, your error log is in your my. Oh my goodness. I'm so used to doing it with my program by clicking like this. In your My Games Farming Simulator, it's under your My Documents, My Games Farming Simulator to log.txt file. Uh, if you have my MFS Plus program, it makes it really handy to jump in or back up your files or open your mod folder and see. Why don't I use that more often? I mean, it brings me right to where I want to be all the time, but I put that there for that purpose and I never use it. Uh, and I'm always jumping to that folder when I'm map editing. So we have a product one. of young goose. Oh, we're going to need an animal trigger to pick them up, apparently. So there will be a... We got to get that animal trigger thing working. Let's see where that animal trigger is. Apparently, right. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it just pre-filled. We'll figure all that out. All right. With that being said, I'm going to save this, take a quick break. But if, as you've noticed, what you just saw loading up there, just for a quick example, this is all the mods I'm running right now on, and there's got to be, well, I've got 113 mods running minus a couple files. The minus one file, it looks like. So I've got 112 and it booted up that fast. You've got something going on. I do have a decent PC, but we're going to be AFK. Give me 5. We'll come back and we're going to get this landscape across the road. Start drawing in some more fields around this farm. It's saving right now. So I'm going to put up the AFK screen. Give me 5 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. But, you know, I can't pass up a second dinner. So second dinner is chicken cordon bleu. I'll try not to talk too much this while I woof this thing down here. Let me bring this back up. Yummy. Chicken cordon bleu and some nice garlic buttery biscuits. Yeah, I can dig that. So across the street here, we need to put in more farm fields for this farm, and the big ones are going to come in. So oh, we got something floating. A hose. Look, there's a hose in the air. I'm going to move that because, that'll be there for. It goes at the incubating house decoration. Well, we'll stick it over here in the corner for now at the incubating house as a decoration. There. We're going to draw in a few fields on this side over here. Make this farm start looking a little bigger, a little better. Oh, we got to bring in the. Yeah, any errors you want to replace. We got to. I think we're going to bring in the big silos. We should do that now because I don't know how much room over here where we're going to put them. But we're getting silo upgrade on this farm. And then we'll work it out where we start drawing in fields and it'll start filling up that corner of the map a little bit. Yep, check out those errors. Got to get those out. Any one of them could hang. Texture errors usually don't because I'm running with some texture errors right now myself. But this silo section is going to be duplicated. And we're going to put this on each of the farms because it's much cooler looking. So we might have to do a little bit of refarm work when we get this over there. Take out the old, bring in the new. Still haven't saved the mountain textures. See, it's green, it's green, it's green, but it's really not when you get close there. A whole lot of land over here with our farm starting over in this corner. And our silos, luckily we have some room. Gonna probably spin this around that way and work it in a little bit of an extension off of this side. We'll put our new silos. Oh, let's see. Where is our loading pit? Yeah. We'll work them in here and move our triggers around. We can definitely bring it back this way a little bit and zap the old. And while I'm doing that, chicken bite. Mmm. Delicious. Out with our farm silo system. Old. Move our trigger over to the new drop spot. If your game is hanging completely, there is a known error where you have too many field types. You might have mods that are trying to add heaps on the ground beyond even what we have in here. That would really, I mean, it happens. I had to make space just to run the seasons mod and stuff. And you might even have a few more. So it could be a number of things, but you got to clear out that error log first. And Leo 70,000, thank you for the follow. Get rid of our old ramp. And let's see. We have this trigger, the grain station trigger. We also need our, let's see where the tip triggers. Now this is also connected to the doohickey over there. I think, all right, just the silo trigger has to be added on. Well, if you didn't do the seasons update yet, Muddy, then you need to do the update because ours is not seasons compatible until today. You got to get the one that we released today in order for this seasons mod to work and everything else. And go through our update. My best recommendation for you, we've covered it in the earlier map making episode and actually even in the Farming with Dave segment today. So rewatch one of those videos. We go through all the things, or you could just go to our forums and look at the update notes. Follow those notes if you didn't do the update, and you will know all there is to need to know for doing the update. But it does have a little bit of care that is needed if you want to run the seasons mod with it. If you did get the update and you're still having issues, then there's something else going on. But yeah, you shouldn't have a lot of errors in your map. What I'm doing is just centering up the trigger, and I do it by looking at both angles here. I drag it up inside the silo so I know that it's correct, and then bring it back to the point should be right at where it starts to exit and then your fill type will come down in. So new silos, let's bring in some terrain adjustments with that. Bring our road over here. We'll go out a little bit further. Thank you for the cheers there, JWB509. Thanks so much. We are rolling now. A little bit of farm work. We've got a scale that looks crooked, but maybe it's the whole silo system that I put in crooked, or maybe it's the map that's crooked. It could be the map maker that's a little crooked. But I am pretty sure it's just the scale. Or the map maker. Could be one of the two. Vehicle weight. We'll get some grass planted around this soon enough. Straighten that up a little bit. Yeah, you just gotta. That's the answer. Nothing's always easy, but That's where you got to start, my friend, with looking in that error file, taking care of some of those errors. And if you need the seasons update, follow the example we gave in the forum. Let's get our terrain detail layer and start bringing in a new field. Do we have the add button on there? So I'm going to bring this back right about there. We'll start it. We're going to run one along here. And just keep on going. Figure out this is a huge piece of property with going to be some pretty massive fields over here, but I think I'm going to go 3 fields back and then one along the backside. That would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we got a couple that we got to extend down there, but we'll keep going with this one. Get too far away, I can't see my edge. Here, let's work it from this end again. Sometimes it's easier from different angles. I need to paint some more grass at some point before I go out there. Run it along our road. Yeah, what Badzilla said, only way to really know is to start with no mods and bring one in at a time, and then you can eliminate what your errors are. But you can find out which mods they're in that way pretty easy. Just got to check your error log. Common thing, happens to everyone. Some people don't realize exactly when you're first starting out where your error log is and whatnot, but I'm just trying to figure out how big I want this field to be. I think I want to go a little bit further with this one. That's pretty darn wide. So we'll start heading north. And more grass. More grass. Time to plant some more grass. Big time fast. Or paint some more underlayer grass, I should say. We can possibly work on piecing up together more of the mining stuff when we get up here too. Oh, we got a couple hours to go. We're gonna go till actually, what do we got? 6:30. I said originally we're gonna go to 7:30. Then I'm gonna take a break at 8:30. We'll come back with the 8 o'clock show. We're gonna do a little bit of hunting tonight, and we'll invite people into the multiplayer game. I'm starting it a half hour late because I took some time to fill the feeders. They take 4 hours to fill on Hirschfelden. I've got 4 boar feeders, so we can do some. And I got a pretty nice Hirschfelden setup, so we're gonna do some boar hunting or red deer or I got 2 huge uh, goose blinds areas set up on there. So if anybody wants to do some geese, they're more than welcome to. We'll get 8 people in the multiplayer game, or it might just be me if nobody wants to join. But I'm gonna have a ball and see if we can get anybody in there to join us. Let's go paint some terrain detail. And take a break from the map stuff for a little while. It's been a long day today. Big Daddy! Cheers, cheers. Must be watching more of those commercials. Thanks, Big Daddy. Love you. Oh boy, I better stop with that stuff. Who won't? But Big Daddy is in the house. Lurking in the background somewhere. So I got a question for you guys. How do I eat the rest of this chicken while I'm got one hand on the keyboard and the other on the mouse and not let you guys know what I'm doing? We'll figure it out. That's a pretty good place to come over here. My chicken and biscuits getting cold over here. We're gonna be doing the hunter a little later. If you can get in, we'll let I guess a multiplayer game. We'll get the information live on the next stream, 8:30. But it'll hold up to 8 people. First come, we'll see how it goes. First come, first serve. Just be respectful of the other hunters. And I've got several blinds, tree stands, duck, I mean goose blinds, and boar feeders and towers. I really have Hirschfelden set up pretty good on that map, so I figured I'd start with that and let people run around. I actually have like a path that I go through on that map. You're more than welcome to tag along with me and shoot away. And or wander around on the map on your own and see what we can kill. It's just going to be free fun hunting. And then tomorrow we're going to give it a whirl on the Call of the Wild, the newer hunting game. And we got an episode of that a little bit earlier in the day tomorrow. So I'm still torn. I still think I like the old hunter better just because of the contests and stuff, the records, the way the antler system. Scaffguard TV, thank you for the follow there. The way the True Rack system is built into the old one, I really kind of like all that stuff. They actually got some type of winter Christmas event going on now. I didn't look into it. I haven't been playing in quite a while, but it's one of those other games I do enjoy getting on whenever I can. Maybe we could do fishing with Big Daddy. He likes the fishing show. The Fishing Planet game. I think he's still probably wrapped up into that. He actually won a contest on that not too long ago, last year. So, break time for a bite of chicken. Redhead Gone Wild, thank you for the follow. Bring back the back soon screen so I can eat. I'm doing just fine. I'll just munch it down while you guys are listening. Uh, let's get a field going across here of some sort. Just kind of figure out what I want to do with this. Do I want a real thin, long one? Or maybe I'll leave that open for now. Let's start over here. Give us some room. Figure out what we're going to do. But most of this area up here is designed for fields for this farm, so. Redhead Gone Wild, thank you for the host there. Moving on down the road. We shall see how big we want. This field I was going to do running. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that's what we'll do. Leave a little bit of a gap, run. I'll probably delete this section back here for now. I'll fill that in later because I'm going to run this other field up this way and down along the road. Heading west. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. My goal is between 10 and 15 fields per farm. So if you compare that to PV3, which I think has 86 fields, there's 4 farms. If we go to the max of about 15 a farm, there's only going to be 60 fields on a 16x map. So you can kind of gauge the sizes are going to be much more massive than fewer fields, but way more area to farm. Big operation. Big time. A couple small ones around the farms to get you started. What does it take to get the gas at Shell on PV3? You need to have you can't use the in-game gas tank. You need a modded one, and we have the AR gas tank from NC Raiders. I believe we have it linked in our additional files or our required one of those folders. Or there's an AR tanker that goes on the AR that's the AR liquid tanker. That will also move fuel around as well. So, but yeah, it definitely takes one of the modded gas trailers. Doing any funky fields? Not too funky. Because they annoy most people. I know there are people that like those maps that have all the weird shaped fields, but from my experience with my crew, unless I'm wrong, you want to do a quick poll? Who likes to who likes odd-shaped fields? And I wish I could add another poll down below, but we're in the middle of that other one. Who likes odd-shaped fields and who likes squared-off fields? Anybody? Just reply either odd or square, and we'll see what the consensus is, because I could be wrong, but in the past, most people like the squared off fields rather than weird shapes that conform to the land. So, in your way, we're gonna do an online quick poll. You can type odd, ODD, or square, SQUARE, and get your opinion noted, just so we know. Odd or square? I prefer square myself. So we got one for square. What what is squooted? uh yeah, I think that's started to spell square. Come on, shaky. Odd, we got one for odd. Do half of the farm's odd shaped and half of the farm square. Biscuit time. Personally, I'm with Badzilla. The odd shapes field drive me crazy. And all of a sudden, I see that most people, yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, we got a couple odds, some like a combo, but the majority usually rules. Um, Maybe we'll do one segment. We do have one farm. We'll do one farm with odd shaped fields galore for those people that like them. And if they're on your server, you stick them in that corner. What do you guys think about that idea? It won't be this one. It'll be fields that conform with the landscape on one farm. And the rest of the farms will be square fields and big ones like that one. You will not play a map with odd fields. Mm. I wish I could share this chicken with you guys. It's delicious, but you know, let me see. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that right there because Farmer Joe or whoever, here, we need more. We got grass planted up here? Yeah, we do. Farmer Joe here just so happens to want a pond in his backyard. Didn't know if you guys knew that, but he does. So he's got the perfect place for it. Right in his yard. Because water is going to be done a little different. They're going to be close by places where everybody can get water, hopefully. So, as we build up our farm, we've got a couple beautifully large fields with big gaps in between. No. It's a big, big map. Yeah, I like it. We can go a little further. But at the foothills of this, we're going to do some stuff. So we'll leave some space and continue this way. I'll play anything you make, so I don't care. That's awesome. Well, we might do. I mean, I could put him on one farm just on our server. I'm not going to be the one on that farm. We might have to get one of you guys to fill in that farm spot if nobody wants to play it. No, I don't know. We'll see. It depends when we get there. But I think the pig farm, might be the perfect one, or the sheep farm. The what two we didn't touch are kind of in more oddly shaped areas, so they might be one of the perfect ones for doing that kind of thing. Let me get a little closer to the edge. We got to do a lot of edge cleanup later. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got a mountain coming through. That we missed the other day. I got a lot of work to do on the border anyway. It was kind of a quick thing. There's a lot of edges you can see as you're driving around. Everything needs work, but it's getting going in the right direction, you know? And I knew this area was just huge and flat and would be a quick area to drop these other fields in. Right up to the back of the mines over here, we might mess with some roads and stuff up there, so that's why we're staying a little bit away. But we'll bring this right over a little further, in line with the other one. I'm kinda got too big of a circle for getting down here in the corner. We'll do the old, let's see where this field ends trick, and that way I can square it up with the one that's coming over. Now, we delete back to there, get that out. We got the corner for the new field here. So if you want to plow everything together and be crazy and just farm one massive chunk of field over here, you can do it. Lars takes the farm. Yeah. We're going to do all round fields on a farm. We're just going to make circular fields. Now, they were supposed to make it so the AI would be a little bit better this version, but they didn't. It was supposed to do any shape fields. Yeah, not quite. Hired workers. It does a little better, but man, they need to work on it. It's getting there. Let's see. Almost got the border of this field done. Something fun to check out when we get in there. There's another massive field. Let's fill her in. Oh, whoa, 200. Yeah, we got a big square. Come on. So that looks pretty darn good, but we've got more room back here. I got to move that plant, so we're going to utilize some of those pieces. And we've got to go off this side of the road, but we got to put the bee zone around the farm over here. And we're going to go to that little idea I had mentioned I kind of want to do. I'm going to go back over here. And for now, grab this. And duplicate it. And Farmer John, or whatever I called him before, is going to have a little pond out behind his birds here, his chicken area. Right in this area, right here. It's a perfect place for a nice little round farm pond while I get my biscuit. And then I got my mouth full and I can't talk. Almost done. I only got about a quarter of the chicken and one more bite of the biscuit left. So we are going to just give you guys a swimming pool pond back here. Um, let's bring my radius down to about 50 and make it a nice round. You know, this is an actual man-made pond, so it's going to be quite round-ish. Uh, Not like that. That was just a test. Okay. Got to get my ground height and switch to replace. Come on. What height are we at? 100. Go down to a little deeper. This is an actual pond. And boom. Man-made pond. Right behind the house here, or the chicken coop, with rough dirt. Bottom for now. And we can mix it up a little bit on the edges by getting a much smaller circle and smoothing this out. What was that, Dave? What were you talking about? Oh, me with my mouth full eating a biscuit? Yeah, in the middle of a show? Hey, I can't help it. I did eat, but I had to have second dinner. You know? So we got a pretty cool little pond back here. I thought that'd be pretty cool for you guys. What do you think? We can do a little road down the side. You can get your uh, water plane. So look at the water planes in here. You see, there's just a few. Some of them will be disappearing because they're buried. But as we look at them, and I got to do a test to make sure this is going to work. Yeah, we've got water planes. Boy, do we got water planes. We should have one big one for the whole map. But what we need to do, we could put a little water fountain. Wouldn't that be great? We'll get a little island in it. I got to find a water fountain that will spurt it up in the back of this. That would be awesome. Will it have fishies? You know, we got that little fishy spinning wheel on the. Maybe we could bring that back. Um, Trying to find a water plane that has on create environment on create water. That's what I'm looking for. So what we want to do is come down here for this water plane and do a script callback on create, add that in, put our on create water onto that water plane. Now it should be one of those collisionable water planes. We'll test that out when we get to it. It's not too deep, the water, but it's enough probably to drown you in there if you drive a vehicle in. But we were testing also, yeah, yesterday. We have in our foliage layers, we'll get a brush here. We're going to make these ponds look pretty good later on with getting up along the edges and going add button, putting some cattails along one side maybe, and get some duck decoys and a gun and put it out in the middle. Wouldn't that be awesome? So we'll decorate our ponds up with some cattails. I'm just doing random stuff now. You can tell it's been a long day. We'll figure out where we're going to put them all around the pond. I want to see how they look in game when we come back over here, which we're going to do very soon because we're going to end this show in about a half hour just so we can take a break and come back at 8:30 for some hunting with Dave and let you guys jump in if first come first serve basis. So one of the things I'd like to do is crank up the view distance on my cattails. We could run them in the water a little bit too. See that? See what they look like when we get back in with my little pond. And we've got lots of work to do up here in our mountain area and down our mountain sides, but we're gonna jump over. We did quite a bit here with the fields today. We're gonna bring over this I don't know how, but yes, somebody mentioned we should put flowers and stuff around the bee. So there's going to be two facilities for the bees on this farm. Number one is where you're going to be making the hives and the lumber, and that is and the bee products. So the sheds here, as well as most of this stuff with the bee products facility, is going to be, but I want to have like a path to where the beehives are offset somewhere. I'm going to rework this whole area. I actually don't even think I'm going to use the old BGA. We'll use parts of it maybe, but we got to put a bee area in over there. I was actually contemplating sticking the hives over with the orchards over here, but I think we'll keep it over there. Gives this farmer something to do. So there's going to be a front area. We'll add that in. Outline roughly where it's going to be. Somebody's in my channel. Hey, it's Danny, but I'm not in the right channel today. I'm in a bad area. I shouldn't be in this channel. I'm in the AFK channel broadcasting. We're going to bring in the beehive area over here somewhere where we'll be working on the bee products and the wood pieces. Actually, I might want to get a little bit further away from that field. Might drive people nuts. We have plenty of space. I'm trying to leave a lot more space in between things as I design it because we can fill in with some trees and designs and stuff, but I don't want to. There's no need to be bumping into things on this map. We've got too much area to fill as it is. So the goal here is to set up a nice large bee area up close to the road where we're going to be making our hives and stuff, and then have like a little path off the back of it into a nice green area with some trees and plopping the hive boxes out and back, you know, out and back behind this huge. So you got it close by, not to drive you guys crazy, but the bees should be out like in the field. We'll maybe put a fenced in area with yeah. It's deep enough to drown you. Yeah, it is. So we're going to do it that way with this. We're going to bring back through here, behind here, because bees like tall grass, and we're going to put a fenced in area, just like a really farmy area we'll work on off the back of the bee area where the production's going to go on. So we'll bring it back through here. Just a nice wandering dirt path or with several hive boxes for you to load up. And I think it'll be a lot more realistic than the little bee farm we had before. So I'm thinking, let's see, rough dirt it about 4, but this path is just going to be, we'll fence it in later, but I'm going to do a, you know, it's going to be a wandering walk through some woods back to a opened up beehive area where we'll have grass, all tall grass around here. I wonder what we have for grass. Give us an idea. We got those cattails, but that's for around. We've got some bushes that, whoops, that we can bring in. We can also look for some other grass layers. This is not the be-all end-all, but we're going to make a mixture of bushes and our grass layers back here. Yeah, that actually won't look too bad. And put our hives back in here. Need some AI people with beekeeper clothing. Didn't somebody do that? No. One of the things you see I'm planting these bushes. The interesting thing, just like any foliage layer though, is if I go to get my grass and want to plant my grass in here, it's going to overwrite my bushes. So as well, that was really small. That wasn't good. As I mix it in, the 2 layers, it's going to give it a different look. Oh, it's testing. We'll see how it looks when we come over here. This is just going to be an idea to wander our path through. We'll smooth out the dirt edges by coming through and just working it in. We can kind of get an idea as we go down this side. It's just going to be a smooth path wandering out into, and we'll fence in this area with a gate off of the back of here. And there's just going to be back there these bee boxes, and might even add a few more of them. And some decorative items out there, maybe a couple carts in the field or something. A broken down truck. Yeah, Hunter ain't even downloaded. Mine is ready to go. And I'm washing down that biscuit real quick. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna kind of bring these back. We'll have trees back here as well. And it won't be as buried. We'll make a little area for it. But we'll figure it out. It's going to be a little different. We'll see what this looks like if we bring it over here and kind of give us a little circle. We got to take the bush out of it too. Can't have bushes going through the bottom of the building. But we'll decorate around them a little bit and put our bee boxes back here in our backyard. 1-8 grass. Bring in smaller. Add. Get it right. Fill in a little bit around it. I think that'll look pretty cool coming down through. Time to take this last little drive over, see what things look like before we take an hour break to come back. I hope somebody out there wants to hunt with me tonight. Get your hunter downloaded. We'll set up. Hirschfelden's going to be going tonight with 4 boar feeders ready to be. By 8:30 they'll be ready, and we're going to see if there's any action at the boar feeders, red deer, who knows if you want to do geese, but we can get 8 people in there. And we'll take a little break. I'll get everything set up there and come back for a show at 8:30. Was going to be originally at 8, but we're doing a lot of map stuff today, so running a little bit late. And we'll see how that show goes. I think it's going to be fun for me. And next week we'll try to get the Discord set up and we'll give out that so you can hear the people chat. But tonight, just wander in, have fun. I'll type to you, or you can listen to my broadcast. Hey, stay out of there. That's mine. No. So off we are at the farm, saving. Minimize that, and let's bring it open and see what we've got going on. Now I'm seeing other name. Oh, yep, Pievs has to be on my auto host list for sure. And Badzilla as well. I got several people. I don't know how this auto host stuff works, but somebody will be hosted if they're online in between my show randomly, I think. I don't know if if it just chooses from the list randomly or what it is. Delete that old save game because we're going to need all the terrain back and everything. All the terrain changes. And come over to our farm and see how it looks for today. Oh, you placed a building with the farming tab? No, I haven't. I haven't got the farming tablet mod to work with this map. So I haven't. Then again, I haven't used it in a long time with the PV3 map. So when I tried it, I couldn't get it to work. But I've made several changes since then. Maybe it will work now. But back when I did, boom, nothing happened. I couldn't even get it to boot up with that. Sad now your game is not installed. Well, it's all right. We're gonna do that show once a week. And if you have Hunter Call of the Wild, that's like a special this week. We'll see how that goes. Friday, we're gonna jump in, and I haven't done much of that. I own my best gun is the 270. I do have the ATV pack, which kind of made the game much more fun to play. Driving ATVs around. So, heck, on Call of the Wild, I could make a show out of driving the ATVs around, and that's it. Because it's a blast. I'm gonna make my truck. Oh, I don't know. We'll pick a weird color today. I actually like this color for some reason. Have no idea. It's like a mud. Farming Sim MP one. Yeah. Yep. We'll do that. Um, we'll fire up. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of stuff. We'll definitely JD. Uh, I'll probably do for that because right now it's kind of tough. Our server is for our testing of these maps and stuff, and the latest updates. I'll probably do it. I'd love to eventually if we can wing it, but right now it's not affordable. Do you see what I just did? Error number one, which is fine, but when you put a collision map on a water plane, if there's any collision below that part, you turn it in. So yeah, when we either drop the collision off that water plane or raise up, and I can't raise that up because the train tracks are down below. So we are going to have to take that collision off that pond water plane unless somebody's figured out how to have multi-level collisions, which I think somebody mentioned that, but I'll have to go around this for now and see if we can get there. The high level collision is where the water level actually is for the map, and that plane we just added the collision to brought it up to that level. So we just got to make sure we go around. Now, I might be able to fill in the low levels, but I'd have to really see where they all are. And I know there's a train track down there. And when we're driving the train, it'd probably say that don't drive too deep on the water. So I think it's really going to have to come out that pond collision on the backyard pond, which really stinks because then I'll have to see if I can get a water fill trigger. We'll see what happens. But if I stay up high, I'm looking at this area wondering if I can fill it in. I can bring up the slabs. It drops off. We're going to have to run a train test down that rail and see if it says the train is underwater or not. Because I don't mind if the... Or is there a road over there too, though? I think there is. Yeah, we got the road that winds down, so yeah. Water level collision. We'll have to see if we can get a new water fill trigger. Because this ain't gonna work with that collision on that pond. It's too high compared to the river levels and stuff, but I definitely like the ponds. Anybody know any research? Did anybody make it so you can have multi-levels? It's something I've always wanted. Somebody did say that there was in a map water plane that raises and lowers, and I wonder if it's an individual or if they have the collision turned off or how they did it. We've been having that issue for a long time coming. Don't you need to freeze it to move collision? Not well. With the water works in a strange way. It's just the level of the highest water plane with the environment on create setting is the water plane level, and it floods the rest of the map at that level. So this one being up much higher than the others, it floods. The only way to do get it to work is to lower the landscape or to raise up the or take the water plane off, but then you can't fill a vehicle from it. We might be able to get a trigger in the pond. The pond's going to look cute, but I wanted to be able to use it. Look at the sunset on the pond in the backyard of the farm. But it's raised up too high. We can paint some more stuff and mud and maybe cattails around it. And it actually works as a water plane. We're floating. No creek farms. Yeah, the Russian map does, but we're not gonna mess with that. That's a different world over there, uh, because that means I'd have to replace all the water planes in this whole darn thing with theirs. But let me check out No Creek and see if they did anything different that we might be able to work out. But here we are. So I think this is a pretty massive field for you guys. We can still put some rolly hills through this field. Yeah, that's a huge field. That one's going to keep this farmer busy for a long time. I don't know if you guys realized just how big that field was when I was drawing it. But you can see the distance mountains up there too still need a lot of work because they got gaps in them. Oh, yeah. So we've got big spot in between there because these two fields are humongous. And it has moving water planes. Are they collisionable water plane? Well, I'll check it out and see if there's anything ideas that he used that might help us out here with different level water planes. But yeah, and then we'll have a nice area back here with some stuff on it. So the farm's looking pretty good. Pretty big fields over here in this corner. I think Danny's gonna have to run over here because he has the time to do these fields. That is massive. Just what you guys want, massive fields. You're gonna get them amongst all the other uh, design features throughout the map. We're going to run down the road a little bit this way and put in a little town over here with some sell points. Up past our apiary, I think they're called, the beekeeping areas. I get those grass spots when I mess with the big square. I'll have a lot of those to patch. But our silos are in over here. Nice big silos. Nice big empty area. I think, look at how small that truck is. And then we'll have another field over here. then our new bee area, the workings of it will be up here, and we'll wind down a little path to a nice place where we'll have our beehives need to be loaded. And it'll look like in, yeah, nice bushes around. I think I like that. Gives it kind of a cool look back here while you're working with your beehives. You're going to probably want to lift them up and put them on the back, in the back of the pickup. I wonder if they can be carried in the pickup without flying around. Maybe. Drop the tailgate, drop them in there, and then we'll expand this out and put the rest of the beehives back here. It'll be kind of cool. So slowly but surely it will take place. We're going to redo this whole area, fence it in, and put our sawmills and make it not look like a BGA. We got enough BGA models on the map. We'll use that fence though. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, giant field was fun. The water puddle lure. Oh yeah, I think I saw that. I'm writing that down. I know I saw a water puddle lure. Let me check it out. That'd be good. We fire up the water puddle lure script on there, and then we'll be good to go. So we're going to run a basically off of this side of this road past the fields over there. Well, once we put a couple more fields on this side of the road for Mr. Farmer Corner, this road's going to extend and we're going to have its little town with sell points for this district back here in this corner over here. So each area is going to have its own custom sell points, and uh, yeah, we've got plenty of room. You think we've got plenty of room to put a pretty good like town city over here for this one. How do you tie the train stations together? I didn't, Badzilla, but it's a lot of work doing splines. I just copied the splines in from the Corn Belt map so I wouldn't have to do all that extra work. But they're utilizing the same tracks. The splines are. They're drawn onto the same tracks or tracks close by. That's all. Um, Speaking of trains, we've got just a few minutes. I'm going to take. So basically, all the splines meet up on this main rail over here. The trains can actually clip through each other if not used properly. But we're gonna just take a quick train ride. Yeah, there's no such thing as a quick train ride on a 16x map. But I want to see, maybe we got lucky. What happens if you bring a train under the water level? That is the question. We got about a couple more minutes left. We'll see if this train drops down up there somewhere. And it's pretty awesome. We got so much land to do. It's crazy. Remind me, I got to remove that. Actually, I should probably be doing that because we're gonna go overtime. But I haven't driven the train around since we did a little bit of work. Yeah, this one's above the water level, I think, everywhere. I don't know if it drops down. I was guessing which train had the lower track. And I don't think it's this one. So Storage for the trains? I forget what the original question. How did I tie the train stations together? Oh, it's just duplicating the triggers and putting them around the map so it can be loaded from everywhere and giving it one name. That was all. They're all off the same transform group. So basically, I had north, south, east, and west stations. I took the south station triggers and copied the south and deleted all the other ones and just copied the south station triggers around the whole entire map and then renamed it so that it doesn't say south station but it says train stations. So that's simple stuff. You could put a trigger anywhere on the map and load and save from it. um it just so happens that we use the south station and duplicate them. We are in the middle of a big area that hasn't even been touched. Oh, look, we've got junk on the ground. Or is that the top of a building? I can't tell. It's amazing how much of this map is still to go, but we're going to get it there. It's going to take shape over time because this train's like going where I haven't even started yet. Yeah, that's it, Bad. You use multiple triggers off the same station, duplicate that trigger, put it anywhere you want, and you can put empty triggers wherever you want. That's a pretty simple thing. It's all on the same node. There's literally that train station. Each section has like 13 triggers. We are in the middle of nowhere, and I am running over time, and I got to take a break really before we come back to do the hunter at 8:30. So, with that, I hope you enjoyed this show. We'll be back doing some more map making tomorrow, and I'll be back as well in just about an hour's time at 8:30. We'll see if anybody wants to join me hunting on Hirschfelden. But for this episode, everybody, thanks for watching, and it's credits time. We'll see you very soon.